Well, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to today's event. We're so happy to have you. My name is Khalifa Naylor. I'm one of the senior campus recruiters supporting professional internships here at the Walt Disney Company. I've been with the company now 14 years. I'm coming live to you from Orlando, Florida, where I am marked safe, thankfully, with internet and power, but so happy that you all have decided to join our presentation today. We're extremely excited for you all to learn more about the Disney UNCF Enhanced Scholars Program. So we're going to jump right in. Before we get started, I just want to introduce to you our program support team. You will get to engage with myself and Miss Arnika Frazier Jackson, who represents the UNCF side of the house. And then alongside myself, my colleague Corey, who is unfortunately not here today, but you all will probably get to meet him in the future if you are selected to join our awesome program. He is one of the managers with our outreach and engagement team. And together with Arnika, we hold up or stand up this awesome program that we're going to share details with you today. But before we jump in, I just want to show you this sizzle video. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I just love that video. I wish you all could engage, interact. And if you can, that's great. But by just a show of icons or if you are virtual, did anyone recognize any of those brands in the videos? It does definitely showcase the vast portfolio of the segments and the brands that really represent the Disney company. And so as the Walt Disney Company, we are made up of many, many businesses. One that thankfully doesn't really need an introduction, but I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of how our company is kind of broken up into segments. So as you all know, the company that we represent today and have the pleasure and privilege of representing was all started by one man and a mouse, right? And really the mission of the Walt Disney Company is to entertain, it's also to inform and inspire people around the globe through power of unparalleled storytelling. So as you can see, everything we do is built and themed around storytelling. Our company, like I said, is meant to entertain and inspire people, but we also want to reflect on iconic brands, also bring in innovation and creativity and different technologies that really just make our company the world's premier entertainment, division. And so this slide that I'm showcasing with you today really just helps visually lay out all the different businesses, or we call them segments, and the brands that fall within the overarching Walt Disney Company umbrella. Going from left to right, we have our Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products segment, also known as DPEP. So if any of you are familiar with Walt Disney World, which has survived the storm, by the way, you all were safe, Walt Disney Land, or Disneyland, our cruise line businesses, Walt Disney Imagineering, any of our stores, anywhere that you can pick up merchandise or shopping, that's all part of our DPEP, or our Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. And really, this segment is the global hub that brings our Disney stories, characters, and all of our franchises to life through, like I mentioned, our theme parks and resorts, our cruise lines and vacations and experiences, as well as consumer products. So anything, like I mentioned, from toys to apparel, books to video games, it falls under this segment. Then in the middle, we have our Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution, also known as DMED, which is comprised of our company's international business units and various direct-to-consumer streaming services that aligns with technology, media distribution, advertising, sales, and in a single business segment to deliver personalized entertainment experiences to all of you and consumers across the world. So if any of you are Disney Plus subscription members, that's great. It would fall under this segment of our business. Or if you all engage in our sports packages and ESPN, if you watch Hulu or Handmaid's Tales, that's all part of the Disney business, which aligns under DMED. And then over to the right, we have our content groups, which are compartmentalized into three business units, excuse me. So we have the studio's content, we have the general entertainment, and we have ESPN and sports. So the studio content group, which is the top of this pillar, encompasses a collection of world-class entertainment studios that produce high-quality cinematic storytelling for both theatrical and streaming releases. So many of you are familiar with our Marvel productions, right? Or most of our movies, obviously like Black Panther, all of those familiar things that you have seen on the screen come from our studio's content group. And then we also have below that our general entertainment content group, which creates original entertainment and news content for the company's streaming platforms and cable and broadcast networks. So if any of you tune into The View or Good Morning America, those are all under our general entertainment content. We just enhanced our partnership with National Geographic as well. And so you'll see more of that on our linear networks in the future. And then, of course, cannot forget our sports, right? ESPN and the sports content. This group really produces all of our live sports programming, all of the sports news. So if you're familiar with Stephen A. Smith and First Take, Why Not Us? If you guys aren't tuned in, you should really tune into that series. It's really dope and epic. But this group or segment of our content groups brings about news and original non-scripted sports related content for our Walt Disney Company cable channels, ESPN and ABC. All right, I know that was a lot, but I also just like to, again, showcase all of the different businesses that make up the Walt Disney Company. So hopefully you learned something today about our company. All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about our professional internships, which is really our primary reason that we're here today. The high level for the Disney professional internships, our internships touch an array of different focus areas across the enterprise. So the various businesses that I just shared with you on the previous slide are where we typically have a lot of professional internship opportunities. For the purpose of our conversation today, we will be focusing on the enhanced Disney UNCF Enhanced program, which is an internship opportunity that will occur over the summer of 2023. This professional internship opportunity ranges in length between 10 and 12 weeks. We are very cognizant of graduations or schools and things letting out in May. And we also are aware that in fall, you guys have to prepare and get back or get ready to go back on campus. So these are shorter opportunities to partner with our industry professionals and get real hands-on experience, but it's really impactful and just a great opportunity. Depending on the role, if you are selected and where you may be placed, your rate of pay may vary, but all of our internships are paid opportunities. We do host an array of different programming events, some developmental, some for networking, and also in conjunction with UNCF, you guys will also get different development opportunities as well as part of your programming if selected to be a scholar on this program. A few things that we offer through the Disney Company, of course, are the work perks. So complimentary theme park admission, that's my favorite. That's everyone's favorite, right? You also get discounts on merchandise and dining. We offer up free personal life and wellness resources for all of our Disney employees, regardless of the segment that you support. And then there's so much more. So we have, just little things throughout the summertime that our company kind of sponsors or does spotlights on. And so we are oftentimes recognized and we get a little bit of magic behind the scenes or what we call magical moments from our company and our executives. So I won't spoil that for you, but I will say that it is such a great opportunity to work for this company. And when you think about getting hands-on experience, it's not all work. We do really value you guys having some time to play and experience our products as well as consumers. And then last but not least, I know this is a popular question, but where are our professional internships offered? So I know there's a lot of misconception about the Disney College program, which is only located supporting the business in Orlando, Florida, but our professional internships are opportunities across the domestic United States. So we do have roles that are remote, we do have some that are hybrid, and we do have some that are in person. And so I'm going to go to this next slide so you can kind of get an idea of the array of different opportunities that fall under a professional internship positions. So as you can see, I've only listed a handful of opportunities that we've kind of grouped for the professional internships. These are also the roles that we are promoting for the Disney UNCF Enhanced Scholars Program. And again, this is just a snapshot of some of them. We have a few more. It's listed on the application, but this just gives you a general idea of the array of different areas of focus. And then to the right, if you look at that map, you can see that where I've placed little Mickey heads, that's where we have Disney sites or Disney offices. And so if you're selected and if you are brought on to one of our internship programs, you very well may relocate over to one of our offices. It could be as far northwest as Seattle, or it could be as far northeast as Bristol, Connecticut. So again, just want to give you a general idea of where we have opportunities. All right, so more about the Walt Disney UNCF Enhanced Internship program. This program is very near and dear to my heart. I have the honor and pleasure of working with Arnika to stand this up and just keep it sustained. But it really, truly is just a remarkable partnership that we have with UNCF. I will say this is our third cohort that we are now advertising for or taking applications for. And it's just been a great experience. We've had about 44 individuals now come through our summer enhanced scholars internship program. And I will say of that, about 79% or 80% of them have been converted into either full-time roles or other opportunities within the Disney company. So we are very, very proud of this relationship, and we look and strive to continue this partnership to create, just more opportunities for all of you out there. So you can see what our goal is and what the purpose of this program is. A few things that I'll call out here is we are targeting juniors. However, we have hired seniors in the past. I just encourage all of you out there, if you're interested and you're not quite sure of your classification, or you're not sure of what level you're going to be at, just apply, right? I always tell students, apply for the opportunity. It's a 50-50 chance if you apply. It's 100% no if you don't, right? So if you're not sure, I recommend just apply, finish the application process, and we'll sort it on the back end. But a few things to know as far as components of this program is we are offering scholars not only a paid internship at the Walt Disney Company, but a scholarship of up to $5,000. And you'll also get mentorship that comes along with the program. You'll get career planning, development, like I mentioned before. We also help with full-time placement on our end, as long as you're interested in staying and everything works out. Upon successful completion of graduation and your summer program, we do help with early career conversion. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, that paid internship. So again, these are really just high level, some of the components of the program. One other thing I'll note is that if you are selected to participate and your role requires you to be on site in one of our different locations, then we do offer up relocation stipend, and we help with housing as well. So we offer housing assistance. Here's the eligibility, which again is outlined on the application requirements. Again, pretty straightforward. Really, we're looking for individuals that have an interest in the entertainment company, specifically Disney. And these are just some of the areas of focus, right, that we are advertising as part of this program. And this is demonstrated again on the application. We also know that there is a two-part process to this application. So please, if you start the process, complete the process if you want to be in consideration for this tremendous opportunity. And then, of course, one other thing I just want to highlight Students, you have to be available for the full length of the 2023 summer internship, which was on the previous slide, about 10, 12 weeks over the summer months. So between May and August, we would need your full availability. Most of our positions do offer 40 hours plus. And again, I cannot reiterate or emphasize more, they are paid internship opportunities. All right. Again, just highlighting some of the things I've already covered, but these are some of the things you can expect. So we do have some semester events throughout the spring of 2023. So once we've identified our cohort, we do some additional touches with you to get you prepared and ready for your internship. The UNCF team does a wonderful job of offering up the Student Leadership Conference. I threw this in there, Ernika, but I'm assuming it usually happens every May. But again, just a great developmental opportunity for those that are part of this program and other programs under the UNCF umbrella. Professional Development Summer Series, again, we'll do some check-ins throughout, right? Just to make sure everything's flowing and going well. And then at the end, we do some exit assessments and interviews. And then, we'll start with the full-time placement process. Okay, so I know I'm breezing through this quickly. If you guys have questions, we will have time for Q&A in just a few minutes, but we'll also be in our booth live throughout the day. But here's what's next. We need you guys to apply. Okay. So our applications will be open through November 1st, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Please do not wait till the last day. If you are interested, like I said, as of today, start the application process, but just get it in sooner rather than later. And then again, here are some of the eligibilities, requirements that are outlined. And then once you've completed the two-prong approach or the two-part approach to the application, and it is official, I believe on the UNCF side, you'll get notification stating that your application has been submitted, and then we will go from there. And so in order to be fully considered, you have to complete the full application process. All right, that was it. I know I talked a lot, and I hope you learned a lot today, but now we're going to open it up for some Q&A with myself and Arnika.
Thank you so much, Khalifa, for all of your insight about this opportunity. I'm excited. So if the students don't apply, then I definitely will apply.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Exactly. But the questions are coming in. I did want to let you know that the students were shouting Marvel and Star Wars as their favorite things of Disney. So we have a question from Devin Woodfine. And they want to know, how would you tell an intern and or future full-time employee to embody the magic of Disney?
Ooh, how would I tell an intern or a future employee to embody the magic of Disney? Well, first, and this should apply to any job that you all are applying for, company, you have to make sure that your values and your missions align with the company values and missions, right? And so if you are not aligned in that aspect, then it's hard to embody what the mission and what the company stands for. So that would be number one. Just take a strong look at what it is that you desire and what areas and where you want to focus, and really truly, again, what you believe in. What are your beliefs and what do you stand for? And if the company aligns with that, or there are things that you appreciate about a company, then I think that's the best way that you can embrace what everything, the company brings. And I tell students all the time is that you all, the future generation of leaders that are going to, not only lead this company, but like lead our nation. And so, it's so important for us to just make sure that you guys are equipped and developed, but you also have to be authentic to who you are. Right. And so I think it's so important that you present yourself in a way that you are real and that that you are going to be a value add as you are, authentically who you are. Right. And so that's just a few nuggets, I guess, to answer your question. I hope that answers your question.
Awesome. We have another question from, and please excuse me if I do not get this right, the name pronounced correctly, but it is Meba Woodson. Okay. And They thank you so much for coming and sharing with them today, and wanted to know the process for interviewing for the different types of internships, especially those with studio content.
So I'll talk on our side of the house for professional internships, and then maybe Arnika, you could talk about the process for this particular program. But I will say that for our internships and programs, regardless of the segment, so I know you specifically maybe had a question about that division, but really it is just showcasing storytelling. So like I said before, everything's about a story, right, with the Walt Disney Company. But you just want to make sure that you can highlight and showcase why you're the best candidate for this position. And so when you apply for a job, you've already looked at the job description and met the eligibility requirements. If you've made it to the interview stage, that's a plus, right? And so really you just want to articulate what you're going to bring to the table. So you can showcase that through your project worked or any hands-on experience that you've had in that particular area of focus. A lot of times students do not highlight their involvement with different organizations, or if you're part of a D9 or a sorority or a fraternity, those highlight like your leadership skills. So I would say from a more broader perspective, when you're interviewing, you just want to tell your story as in a way that sets you apart and makes you unique, but also highlights all of the great work that you're doing and what you're going to bring to the table. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, and just a little bit more detail around the UNCF portion of the application process. Definitely want to make sure, as Khalifa has mentioned, that you beat the deadline, not meet the deadline, because things will happen. Right. You want to be prepared for that and ensure that your reference has their information in prior to the deadline, because your application will be considered incomplete if your reference is not attached to your application. And then there is a process for the application. If you are selected as a finalist, then you will move on to the next section, which will be the recorded interviews. Those interviews will be shared directly with Disney. So you want to be sure to present your best self professionally, and then also to ensure that if there are any prerequisites that are asked of you, that those are also included. We'll be using the Spark Hire system. So you'll be able to upload your resume, your cover letter, and any other additional content that you feel will help you to be competitive in this process.
Yeah, that's a great point. So from a logistics standpoint, just to piggyback off of what Arnika was saying, once she presents, some of the individuals that have completed and meet the criteria for the different areas of focus that we're targeting, we then take a look at it. So I say we, me and my team of recruiters, and then we'll present your information to the hiring leaders or the hiring teams that make the decision. So essentially you could interview twice, if you will. So you've already kind of done the application process and the interview with on the UNCF side. We then assess, and then we'll put you in front of the teams that are looking to identify UNCF scholars to bring upon for the summer internships. And so again, that's your opportunity to, again, just really highlight all the great work and all the great skills and soft skills and technical skills that you'll bring to the role.
Absolutely. Okay, we have questions rolling in.
All right, let's go. And again, if we run out of time, you all, we're going to be in the booth. Okay, so just want to throw that out there.
So Dakaria Nash asks, for those who are interested in digital media and animation, what do you look for in the design portfolio?
You know, that is a great question, and that is not my area of expertise. I am not going to sit up here and even pretend to know. My peer group that focuses on digital and marketing, they would have a more general idea. And so, again, happy to maybe offline and get some additional information, because again, that's not my area of focus. But I will say most of the time on our job descriptions, they'll outline and articulate exactly what it is they're looking for in digital marketing or digital graphics, right? And so I don't have the finite eye to tell you exactly like if you need to, have this particular graphic or this Adobe. I don't know that. I'm not going to lie. So happy to offline with you if you want to meet me in the booth, and I can see if I can gather some additional specific information from my peers. But yeah, definitely would be outlined on our job descriptions. If you want to take a look at our links, so if you go to our disneyinterns.com homepage, we do outline different areas of focus where you can just get a general idea of what the role entails and like a day in the life. I highly recommend that you do that just to familiarize yourself. But anything more specific, I can see if I can get some additional information.
And also, I do want to offer on the application, it will ask what opportunity they're interested in.
Yep.
And then from there, applicants will be sent the job description so that you can better suit yourself for the next phase if selected.
Great call out.
Okay, so we have another question for, this one probably will be for me. Around what does the pre-recorded interview process look like? So I'll answer that question. So we are utilizing the Spark Hire system. And in Spark Hire, it will be a one-way interview. So what that means is that there will be a list of questions. You will have, there will be, it's a timed answer per question. You'll have an opportunity to kind of test the system to make sure that you're comfortable answering the questions with our test question. And then from there, up to 5 questions will be asked around your interest in the position, with the interest in the company, and essentially what you bring to the table. And so those questions will be answered. It's just you and the computer having a conversation, but it will be recorded. And then from there, UNCF will screen those interviews to then share with Disney. So that is the process utilizing the Spark Hire system. Next question comes from Brandon Jordan. What challenges have you experienced attracting minority students to your program, and what have you done to overcome that challenge?
That is a great question, Brandon. Thank you for that. As you all know, diversity, equity, and inclusion is at the forefront of many businesses, but it is something that, and hiring inclusively, I will say, is top priority at the Walt Disney Company. In the past, just from my general experience and being a Black employee that also came to the company by way of internships and programs, I will say that I don't think that we have concerns or issues attracting, right, people of color or minorities to the organization. I think where we have concentrated and done a little bit more like deepening our efforts and trying to figure out is how do we kind of eliminate some barriers that may relate or pertain to a certain demographic of students versus another, right? And so just to give you some perspective, annually, we receive well over, and I'm not exaggerating, 200,000 applications, right? Within that, we do have breakdowns of students from like historically Black colleges and universities, from different programs that are minority serving institutions. And so long way of saying, I don't think that attracting the minority talent is the issue. It's more of how do we make sure that we are getting them in the pipeline and getting them in front of the hiring leaders at the same opportunity or the same rate as our other counterparts. So some of the things or efforts that we're concentrated on in order to pipeline diverse talent into the organization, specifically minorities, this is one of them. So our partnership with UNCF and Disney, we've had a longstanding relationship with UNCF, but we took it that one step further, and that's offering this enhanced program, right? We know that there are certain things that can prevent us as a community from having access and opportunity. And so as a company, we want to eliminate as many red tapes or challenges as we can. And that's what this program offers, offering up a relocation stipend, assisting with housing placement, giving more money for the scholarship. We know that financially, a lot of us just can't afford to not have, up to take a semester off, right? So again, targeting that summer program in order for you all to still maintain your school status, but within, get a hands-on job experience. So I think for Disney, we've deepened our relationship with organizations like UNCF, but we have a multitude of other organizations as well. When we think about, the Hispanic population, we have some concentrated efforts there, and as well as our American Indian and et cetera, et cetera. So there is a deepened focus from the CEO down on how we are diversifying, our talent pipeline, and also thinking about it more than just internships, right? This is a talent strategy. So we are intentional about helping not only attract you all, bring you in, give you access and opportunity to get hands-on experience, but also retaining you. So we want to help you stay and build, your career and start your career with Disney. And we're being intentional about that. So hopefully that answers your question. We have a slew of other initiatives that are happening across our enterprise. We have teams dedicated from diversity, equity, and inclusion all the way down to corporate citizen, corporate social responsibility, who's really their main focus and focusing on building a talent pipeline of diverse individuals. So, and we want to make sure that our company reflects our products and vice versa. That's a great question. I love it.
Yeah, and I think that's a great way to kind of end this chat because we are, believe it or not, at time.
Oh, so no. Are there some unanswered questions? I'm happy to email or.
Yeah, so okay. I can send you over the one question just around the essays, and I can answer that question, but. Okay. I would encourage everyone, Khalifa is moving over to the booth to answer any of your questions if you want to have a little bit more of a one-on-one interaction and engagement with her. But encourage you all to start your application today. And Khalifa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I look forward to seeing some bright new faces with Disney coming in the spring.
Applied today. You will not regret it. All right. I'm headed over to the booth, you all, if you want to visit me there. Thanks
you, everybody.
For the platform. I appreciate it.
Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.